Hello and welcome everyone to the Magnificent 4 Cup Season 22 hosted by Comtours, and I, Cray SW, will be your host for today. Alright, so just a rundown on this competition for those of you who have missed out on previous Magnificent 4 Cups. The participants are chosen based on their highest World Arena rank at the end of RTA Season 22, and it is actually a separate tournament organized exclusively for the Malaysians, Singaporeans, and also Filipinos players who follow the official SEAEN fan page in Southeast Asia. So for the competition rules, it's actually very simple. It's a best of 5 for each match, and it's a SWC ruling. Here's the brackets for today. We do have Jin Yao up against Coco Melon, and remember, YS will be fighting out against Cold Hearted. So it's gonna be pretty interesting who will progress all the way through to the champions, alright? And last but not least, they will be fighting out for great prizes as well. So the winner of this tournament will be receiving the Magnificent 4 Cup Champion Trophy, a Laura figurine as well, including 500 crystals. The runner-up will be awarded 300 crystals, and for the other two participants, they will be getting 200 crystals each. Okay? So there will be also 2 coupon codes to be given out today. Yeah, I know you guys love this one. So there will be a coupon code which gives 100 energies and 100,000 mana stones. And the other code will be 2 mystical scrolls. So just make sure to sit back and relax and enjoy this one. And once the code appears, please make sure to enter it quickly, because there will be a redemption up to 500 users only, if I'm not mistaken. So once the code is out later throughout the stream, please make sure to just enter into your account and you'll be able to reap those rewards, alright? So, first of all, we'll just talk a little bit about the players for today. Yeah, I think no-brainer. Everybody's seen Jin Yao. Remember YS and Cold Hearted. They are actually participating for most of the Magnificent 4 Cups. And the first match is underway. So Jin Yao already at G1 up against Coco Melon. This guy is also really strong. So we are gonna get to see what kind of pre-bans that they want to choose, because I think honestly it's gonna be something like Shizuka or Oliver. But Jin Yao having the first pick here. Both of them just taking the time for the pre-bans. Yeah, there we go. Oliver ban and a Pontos ban as well coming out from Coco Melon. Does it mean that Jin Yao pulled a new LD Nat 5? It might be. So hopefully we get to see the Pontos in the second match. So Jin Yao first picking the Shizuka right away. Like I said, these are the top 2 units in terms of normal elemental Nat 5s. Everybody loves to go for those units. And Coco Melon, of course, a Gianna user, going for the double oracles. Praha nowadays is also one of the most sorted picks as well because of the third skill. Yeah, you're gonna get like AoE speed buff. Jackson and Wedjat in play. Whoa! Coco Melon going hardcore with all his LD Nat 5s. And they're all actually pretty good as well. They synergize very well. And Jin Yao bringing out the SEAEN. And a Gani as well. This is gonna be interesting. So, Jin Yao having this pretty interesting lineup. They're all gonna be very speedy with the more Sagar. Good controls with the Gani as well. And Coco Melon still has all these Nat 5s, LDs. So Atamel or the Chitian Danxing. I think Chitian Danxing synergizes better, so he's just gonna lock that unit in. Oh my god. It's actually really tough to fight Coco Melon, eh? So what will Jin Yao actually do? Resistance lead most likely coming out from Coco Melon's side. And if the Moor is banned out, there's only like a... But yet again, I still think that SEAEN is the first ban because there's no immunity on the side of Coco Melon. So yeah, there we go. SEAEN and Chitian Danxing will be banned out. There's still a resistance lead coming out from Coco Melon if he chooses to do it. But of course, I think just going for the Wedjat speed leader Yeah, neutralize the speeding ground. Both sides go for the 24%. And will we see Gianna outspeeding the lineup of Jin Yao? Because we do know Jin Yao is a very fast player, but likely on despair. So Wedget getting the buff up, and Gianna will be able to follow up with this bomb. Going for the Sagar. Critical error. No stun onto the Shizuka. That is very unfortunate. So now, what can Jackson do? No stun as well. Oh no. The Shizuka counter pick so strong. So yeah, Praha can't really do too much here. It's gonna get resetted by the Sagar as well. And now, the AoE, all things in nature, everything bombed up on the side of CoComelon. This ain't looking that hot for him. Because I think if Gianna goes down, that is somewhat the main damage dealer. Jackson, we saw earlier, didn't really do that much. Just like a 1009 damage on the second skill. And landing the armor break onto the Praha this time. Gany will be able to follow up with a reset. Likely onto the Gianna. But still going for the Praha instead. Because earlier Saga already resetted the Praha, so pretty interesting. So Jin Yao can always ventilate the more up. So going for some damage here with the second skill. Look at the amount of damage done. That's actually insane. But Wedget passive nowadays. It's actually very underrated, the Wedget's passive in terms of the heals. Actually does a pretty decent amount. So you can see Sagar is so low on health. But Jin Yao needs to probably work onto the Wedget. Okay, getting the attack debuff onto the Praha. Interesting. No skills yet from the Sagar, no additional proc as well. And the damage output from Jin Yao's side, if the more don't have the second skill, is pretty non-existent, eh? So resistance on the bomb. Yo, this is like 100% resistance coming out from the Shizuka. Alright, so yeah, just some slight technical issue here. So apologize on that. And we are back. So what can more do? Oh, the counter. Praha next turn got healed. So once Praha gets the Daydream off, I think Jin Yao's side, the damage output is gone. With speed buff as well. Shizuka really low on health. Yeah, the side of Jin Yao, his damage output wasn't the best. And look at the additional damage coming out from the Gianna as well. That took a huge chunk away from the Shizuka itself. And CoComelon taking 1-0. Very interesting lineup. And it's so hard to counter because there's so many things that you probably need to ban on the side of CoComelon. Okay, we are just waiting for the pre-bans here. Okay, so this were the last round's pre-ban. It's the Pontos and the Oliver. So pretty interesting to see what Jin Yao actually does with that unit. So we do know Pontos, Shizuka. I think those two the combination is actually pretty good together. So you'll be getting non-stop invincibility buff for your team. And this time, pre-bans are onto the Sagar and Beelzebub. If I'm not mistaken, that's a Beelzebub, right? So CoComelon taking away the Oliver this time. And these are the more standard picks. Whenever you see Oliver, it means that Masha needs to get picked because it's actually a pretty decent counter against it. However, most Mashas are built on Violent Nemesis, so at the start, I guess the Oliver can just go for the reset on it. Try to get some attack bar pushback. but once Masha moves, there will be immunity forever. So Geo and Riley this time coming out from Jin Yao. Geo, another underrated unit, which actually is pretty decent right now, especially when you have it max skilled. The attack bar that you get is actually insane on that unit. The turn cycling is gonna be so good on the side of the Jin Yao. And triple Oracle lineup coming out from CoComelon, including the Qitian Danxing again. So he loves to fall back onto the AoE sleep, attack bar pushback as well. Very good kit on the skill tree of that unit. And Jin Yao, last pick. What will he actually go for? So CoComelon took away the Juno because he don't really want to deal with that unit on the side of Jin Yao because he's more of a control-based team. Yeah, you can't really control Juno. Whenever she moves, she's just gonna cleanse everything. So Jin Yao going for his Segmet. Yeah, this is his most favorite picked unit from what I see every single time. So very interesting to note here that Segmet, even though no 33% speed leader, he still have a very decent chance to outspeed the lineup coming out from CoComelon. So I'm not sure whether his Segmet will actually outspeed the Gianna. It's gonna be pretty cool to see if that actually happens, because Segmet base speed is so high. Gianna outspeeding it. But there's no will on the side of Jin Yao, apart from Shizuka, which is 100% accuracy, 100% resistance actually. From what we saw earlier, resisting everything, right? So, the Segmet this time failing to land the strip onto the Oliver. That is actually big. So, the Praha on Violin. What will he actually reset here? Going for the Geo. The counter stun! Whoa, that's huge! And now the heal comes. And Jin Yao will be able to have this control up. Yeah, he's just gonna place the stun. But yet again, he's gonna get stunned up by this. By the Gianna. So, not really sure about that. But yet again, Riley already went for the attack buff heal, right? So he had no choice. Just tried to prey on resistance. And slowly working on to the Segmet. Because at the end of the day, the Juno is gonna be a very, very strong unit on the side of CoComelon. I think the Juno can potentially just... yeah, as easy as that. Like I said, once Segmet goes down, Juno is there to kill off the Riley and the Geo so easily because there's nothing he can do against that unit. So Jin Yao just concede. And CoComelon is up 2-0. That was a quick one. I think in a way he kind of misdrafted. He went double win with the Riley and Geo where he doesn't have enough damage output in that sense. Yeah, so very good drafting coming out from CoComelon's side. And yet again, with that Beelzebub ban, I am actually not sure that he has that unit. Because so far we haven't seen CoComelon flashing the LDNet 5. It was Artamel, right? So we do know that CoComelon has the Wedjat Artamel combination. So Jin Yao, first pick this time. The Pontos and Oliver ban out once again. First pick coming out from Jin Yao needs to be pretty significant here. So, he has this Light Slayer. I've never seen that coming out from Jin Yao. So, will this be like a cleave kind of lineup coming out from Jin Yao? But yet again, CoComelon always going for the Gianna pick and having a speed leader Sierra. So base speed of this Light Slayer is actually really low, but it does a good buff, something like a Bastet / Megan-ish. And CoComelon always going for triple oracles, including a Jackson this time. Oh, this is gonna be so scary for the side of Jin Yao. if his Masha is banned out, he needs to go double damage dealers here. But yet again, if he goes for that, there's only one speed lead. Unless he can find a damage dealer with a speed leader here. So down to 2 seconds, going for the Julian and a Riley. Very interesting. So Genial bring out his big guns as well. And what will Cocomelon do? The last pick here. Qitian Danxing. Yeah, no brainer. He loves that unit so much. And who will the bans be? Because on the side of Genial, you don't really care about the Water Ryu, right? Because there's nothing much to strip on the side of Cocomelon. So I'm assuming he's just gonna let the unit through. Yep, there we go. It's gonna be the Light Slayer and the Qitian Danxing once again. So triple Oracle lineup. Will it actually work against this team coming up from Genial? We will see. This is potential match point as well. Like literally game point, because if Cocomelon takes this 3-0, he's moving onwards to the finals for this season's Magnificent 4 Cup. So Gianna going for the bomb. There's no will on the side of Genial, so Gianna just gonna hold on to it in terms of the third skill. So Water Ryu here, just opting for the normal attack, unfortunately failing to land armor breaks and attack debuff. That is big. So Masha getting stunned up as well. Praha going for the Daydream, putting everyone to sleep except the most important unit. So Riley able to cleanse this up, and Jenna taking so much damage. Masha can potentially get bombed up as well, because there's no wheel. And the Oracles, they need to turn cycle as fast as they can, because it's looking really good for the side of Genial. So Genial not opting for the strip yet, don't really want to wake up the Praha. And critical error comes, failing to land the strip onto the Riley again. So this time, the RNG is looking better for Genial. He's able to place immunity, but yeah, yet again you can't really kill Julian, so just gonna leave that unit. And Sierra can potentially bomb up the Moor. Yep, there we go. So essentially that will be 2 turns stun for the Moor. Likely gonna die to the bomb damage as well later on. So just trying to dismount the Masha, actually getting it. Cocomelon is in a pretty good shape. So just trying to work onto the Masha. But Genial, his winning potential here, I guess, is to finish off the Gianna and see how it goes from there. So definitely killing off the Gianna here, getting stunned up unfortunately, and Masha goes down 3v3. Essentially, it's gonna be 2v3 because the Moor is gonna die to the bomb. And there's no point healing here, I feel like, because just normal attack would do. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit tricky. I guess he really wants to CC up this Julian. So just landing bombs here and there. A lot of additional turns coming out from the Oracles. And this time, didn't get the cleanse onto the bomb, but potential one-shot. Wow! The damage output from Julian. And how are you gonna kill off the Riley? Because from what I see here, Jackson's damage isn't enough. It's just 1k. Will Praha go for the heal to put them to sleep? Yeah, I guess he has no choice. But you can't really wake up the Riley as well. Both of the units on Genial's side full attack bar. So you're just trying to poke the Julian first, getting the additional turn into the kill. Oh, it's looking grim for Cocomelon. Although at one point, it seems to me like he was gonna win. But Genial taking it back 2-1. Very nice fight. Good comeback coming out from Genial. So we're going to game 4 So according to the display picture here, CoComelon is actually in GOAT. Oh, very interesting. So we do have actually 3 GOAT members in this Magnificent 4 Cup, because on the other hand, we do have Remember YS and Cold-Hearted, aka Jiamin. So those are veteran players as well. It's gonna be really fun to watch what kind of drafts that they will be bringing out as well later on in the stream. So please make sure to stay tuned and enjoy this one. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Saturday night. And this time for match 4, it's gonna be the Jackson and Sagar band. So Oliver picked up. Yeah, pretty much standard counter picks here from Jinyao. And one thing I want to take note here is that Jinyao always just lets through the Gianna, because I guess he do know that he got a lot of units off wheel, so he's not really scared of that unit. So Satmat once again into play to counter the Oliver. So CoComelon just going for the Wet Jut and Chitian Danshing once again. Yeah, we see that pretty often. And Jinyao last pick here needs to be pretty huge. Potentially a damage dealer, bruiser-ish lineup will be nice. I think Juno is also pretty decent. Yeah, there we go. I think Juno is one of the best unit to be placed there. Because it kind of counters the side of CoComelon's draft. So whenever they go for the buff, at least you got like some AoE strips into the dots. And she's not gonna get CC up as well. So what will the bans actually be here? Because Jinyao's side, he's running very heavy fire. And it's gonna be the Wet Jut and the Water Ryu ban. So Sagmat this time. We do know that the Sagmat doesn't outspeed the Gianna. So Gianna will be able to go first with the 24% speed leader. No will on the side of Jinyao. He did his homework. Yeah, he's not gonna let the Gianna strip stun. And Sagmat needs to land the reset. I feel like over here the reset is more important onto the Chitian Danshing, but failing to land once again. Yo, his Sagmat. The accuracy, not good. I guess just got unlucky. So now, the CC train is here. How are you gonna deal with this? When there's Oliver, Chitian Danshing, the turn cycling with oracles as well. Just gonna be placing bombs non-stop left and right. Unless the Juno can kill off the Gianna as soon as possible, but doesn't really seem like it. Gets quad stun. Alright. So just trying to work onto the Light Slayer. Landing the bomb this time. So Masha is kind of like in trouble, because I think with the bomb damage it's gonna be really low on health. If the Praha touch the Masha here, it's gonna get dismounted. Okay, additional turn though. This might be the turning point. But the damage output isn't enough. Chitian Danshing gets the stun, and next turn he does have the third and second skill once again. So the CC is coming real soon. Praha next turn got healed as well. That is actually a big proc coming out from Masha, able to bring down the Gianna. And it's essentially gonna be a 3v3. So, over here, does Juno actually wins everything? Because yet again, there's still a Praha in play. How are you gonna deal with that unit? Oliver, doing Oliver things. Easy few turns. And Jinyao actually concedes, yeah, he kinda knows it that his units can't really deal with the Praha after that. So kudos to CoComelon. Very nice drafts once again. I love it how he pairs all his LD Unit 5s and they actually synergize really well. So if you let the Wet Jut through, Wet Jut is gonna get the buff up. And then able to follow up with some good damage. Especially when he's playing the Sierra Gianna team together with it. So essentially that will be like 2 bombs. So it's really tough. Jin Yao yet again, I think in terms of his draft, it was actually pretty well taught because yet again, he do know that he needs to deal against the Gianna, so he's never banning off that unit at the pre-bans. It was always better to like ban off the Oliver because, you know, Oliver is like the best unit in game. So Coco Melon progressing through to the finals. However, our next match, we do have Remember YS and Cold-Hearted. If you don't know them, pretty sure if you watch previous Mag 4 Cups, they are always in the top 4 region because they are always in top 100 in RTA. So, Cold-Hearted, a user that I still rely heavily on things like the Marsha Ragdoll, and also another unit that she loves to pick is the Tianlang. So Ragdoll Tianlang don't really work that well, but then with AoE strips, armor break, the Marsha doing good damage, and then if it plays like Shizuka and stuff like that, it's a very, very annoying second, like a second team lineup, like moving second. Apart from that, YS, I think he did pull a few LD Nat 5s, so we'll see what he actually brings. From what I heard, he has the new, like one new unit, right, which is Eleanor. And the Light Polar Queen, I think it's a very good RTA unit because it actually synergizes well with things like Ganny, Oliver, all this kind of stuff, right? Where you'll be able to turn cycle so much with all your skills refreshed. And yeah, you only take like a 10% damage back. It's fine. So it's gonna be interesting to see whether this kind of speedy cleave can deal against the Bruiser lineup coming out from Cold-Hearted. So yeah, just waiting for those 2 players to get ready and we should be able to start pretty soon. Just a couple of minutes here and we should be good to go. Hope everybody is enjoying your Saturday evening. Over here is already at night, so very interested to see who will come out ahead in this Mag 4 Cup. Previous fight so far, I think in terms of the best elemental Nat 5, yeah, comment below what you actually wish for. Did you get the new cookies as well, the Cookie Run Kingdom units? I think honestly, in terms of the new Cookie Run Kingdom units, the more better ones, like the usable ones, are the Water Hollyberry Cookie in terms of Nat 5s. I think that unit is actually a very strong bruiser unit because if your team is tanky, right, you're not gonna die really fast, and then with the passive, you get to offset damage in like a 15% chance. I think it's actually pretty decent. So the match is underway. We do have Remember YS up against Cold-Hearted, and the pre-bans are Cheongpong and Lima. So YS don't really want to deal with the Lima in the first game, just banning it off. First pick, Dominic. Very interesting. We don't really see Dominic picked too often on the first pick. It was always Marsha or Oliver, since those 2 units are in play, and Cold-Hearted is just gonna snatch it away. And of course, Remember YS taking the Tianlang away from Cold-Hearted. So they do share like this LD Nat 5. I don't think it's gonna be pre-banned anytime soon because both sides has it. So Cold-Hearted going for this Bruiser Ragdoll unit. And do we see the Cookie Run Kingdom unit, the Water Pure Vanilla Cookie? I guess it synergizes well with the Ragdoll. And Remember YS just going for the Wusa and Tessarion. Oh, it seems to me like Cold-Hearted got this Ming recently as well because I've never seen her use that unit. Interesting. So both LD Pandas are in, and YS flashing the Eleanor. And it's gonna be Shizuka instead. So Cold-Hearted Going full YOLO with all this damage output with the Savannah as well. So if you're bringing in Savannah, you don't really have any AoE strips, right? Huh, interesting. Yeah, I don't think Savannah is the play. So it's gonna be SEAEN instead. Okay, so the debuffs on the side of Cold-Hearted will be reduced by 1 turn due to the passive. So pretty interesting here. I think Dominic likely... Oh, okay. So Dominic is in play. Should be able to do a pretty decent amount of damage coming off on that unit. And yeah, Cold-Hearted got no choice but to ban off the Wusa because yet again, like I said, the immunity on the side of YS, if Shizuka and Wusa is in play, there's nothing Cold-Hearted can do. So, is the Ming the right pick here? We will see. Praha moving first. Oh, we get to see the new transmog coming out from the panda as well. So cute. Such a small unit now. And Tianlang just going for the normal attack. Dominic likely just trying to hammer the Masha. However, unable to dismount her yet. But yet again, there's not much healing potential coming out from Cold-Hearted apart from Ming's second skill. So Tianlang, all things in nature. Oliver is slapped. There's a very good chance that the Masha is gonna get dismounted soon. So Tianlang got resetted earlier. Getting the Despair stun onto the Oliver, that is big. Masha dismounted as well. So we haven't seen the Ming doing anything yet. Just gonna place the cooldown time onto the Praha. Does the Masha get an additional turn here? He gets it. And Dominic drops. But it's not over yet because Shizuka can always bring the Dominic back alive and do a significant amount of damage before he goes back into the ground. So Praha getting resetted once again. Ming. Will he actually go for the heal? Trying to armor break but failed to land. Double stuns onto the Ragdoll and Oliver as well. He's not taking any risks. So the Praha going for the Ming instead. Because if let's say Ragdoll went below 30% and got an additional turn, Torrent comes, 1 unit is dead. So YS playing it very smart over there. But the amount of damage done, Praha might go down here. And there's no more heals coming up from YS. He still needs to deal against the Oliver. And we do know that this Tianlang is on Despair, so there's not gonna be any violent procs coming out from him. Down to the last hit, and the dots will actually secure the kill. But Soul Protection comes in the nick of time. I feel like Shizuka can bring the Praha here. Would have preferred the Shizuka to bring the Dominic and potentially one-shot the Ragdoll. So now, Ragdoll down to the last hit, and that's Torrent in play. Yep, Shizuka is dead, and there's no way to deal against the Ming. So, Cold-Hearted's lineup. Although, there's no support in the draft coming out from Cold-Hearted, but still able to pull through. Very interesting fights. So this time, the first pick goes to Cold-Hearted. What will the pre-bans be? And make sure to stay tuned really soon as well, because after this best of 5, before we head into the finals, we'll be releasing the first code for y'all, and please make sure to type it in as soon as possible, alright? So yeah, just stay tuned for that. And there will be another code after the final match as well. So hope you guys are enjoying your stay here. We are seeing a Ragdoll and Dominic banned off coming out from both sides. So cold-hearted first pick. I think it's still gonna be the Oliver. You don't really let the unit through. You don't really want to deal against that unit, right? So taking Oliver is still one of the best ways to go through with your first pick. And Masha, Tianlang, Lima, Praha as well. So a lot of oracles so far that we are seeing in all these top tier matches. It's always either Praha, Gianna or Praha, Lima. And do we actually see the Mor and Cheongpong this time? Yes, we do. So YS going for more AoE control with good damage as well. More LD Nat 5s coming out from Cold-Hearted. So the Ming actually worked wonders for her earlier. Actually dealing so much damage, and he's so tanky as well. And remember, YS just going for this Sagar last pick. Yeah, Sagar is gonna be pretty decent here. With a strip. Putting reset as well. And the pushback. So Sagar is gonna be banned off together with Oliver. Resistance leader though, coming out from Cold-Hearted. Against the speed lead coming out from YS. So can YS snatch back one match here? We'll see whether his control is good. Failing to land the strip onto the Shizuka, that's so unfortunate. Once again, we are seeing all these top tier matches where the Shizuka is so high on resistance. Look at that, it's not even getting stripped. So one of the plays here is that he goes for the AoE stun. But yet again, he can always bring the Lima back. But Lima might have... Okay, Lima didn't get resetted earlier, so pretty interesting. Invincibility now onto the team of Cold-Hearted side. And whenever Shizuka goes for the all things in nature again later on, they'll be having invincibility buffs as well. So things will be a lot harder to deal for YS, but seems like he's getting the control off pretty well. The Praha is so close to death as well. So just trying to work on to the Cheongpong. Praha likely dead here. Oh, but the Masha actually going for the Ming. Praha goes down. Additional turn from the Cheongpong. Feels like he has no choice but to go for the clans. Can this Ming solo? Ah, I don't think so. It got stripped. And the reset comes. Yeah, this team is good for YS. He should have this one. 1-1. So over here, we can see like double strippers into basically triple strippers coming up from YS side, right? So they are also kind of synergized pretty well, but I would have loved to see the Tianlang moving ahead of the Cheongpong, so that you have like another round of strips into the pushback just in case the enemy resisted your more. So yeah, pretty interesting. So pre-bans this time, once again, it's gonna be the Cheongpong and Lima. So YS getting the first pick this time. Yeah, just notice both of their points for this current season is so close. Just 6 points gap. Actually 5 points gap. So Dominic, Praha coming out from YS, and Cold-Hearted already locking in the Masha and Tianlang. So this time, Tianlang goes on the side of Cold-Hearted. Yeah, YS got no choice but to steal away the Shizuka. Oliver still in play as well. Double LD pandas, maybe? Oh, we would love to see that. Cold-Hearted. Yeah, you can do it. Believe in the double pandas. Ah, but opting for the same A. Alright, fair enough. And YS going for the Tessarion. I think you can probably go Tessarion Wusa, Tessarion something. I think Wusa is good. So you got double immunity, but opting for Karnal as well. I think Karnal is also pretty decent here. Oh, actually last minute changing it to Antares. So, from what I see here, it's gonna be the ban onto Tianlang? Likely? I think he's very comfortable to deal against the Oliver here, since he went double fire. And Ming will be picked up for Cold-Hearted, so we actually do see the LD pandas. So unfortunately, Ming only came into play here for like 2 seconds and it got banned out already. So defense leader coming off on the SEAEN and HP lead for Shizuka. It's gonna be a very close match, this one. We'll see whether the Dominic can survive all this. So Praha gets the strip onto everyone. Tianlang. What can Tianlang do? Getting double stuns. Of course, very nice. Dominic getting the additional turn as well. Just trying to dismount the Masha as soon as possible. Almost down to the last hit. And that's a dot in play as well. But because of SEAEN in play, the Masha is able to heal up a little bit. So Shizuka, I think, got no choice but to use the Soul Protection. Didn't get the strip. So Oliver going for the reset. We need to see some Antares gaming here. He needs to counter. There we go, with the passive. Can he kill off the Masha? Instead, going for the Oliver. So Oliver really low on health, but this time getting the Soul Protection as well. Shizuka didn't get any additional turns, so Tianlang might potentially kill off the Dominic here. Still alive. Okay. Masha got no choice but to kill off that unit. Antares might go down as well, very low on health. No life steal yet. The Praha comes in clutch, able to heal up the team. And it's looking really grim for Cold-Hearted now. So Praha propped out of the sleep as well. Able to bring Dominic if she chooses to do it. Going for it. And gets the branding off. No despair stuns this time coming off on the Antares. So Antares doing so much work here. This Praha 2 turns again. Can the Masha kill? Okay. But yet again, Tianlang goes down. Yeah, it's just left a SEAEN. With the additional damage done coming out from Praha, I think slowly but surely the SEAEN will go down. Yeah, and Cold-Hearted knows it. Just concedes and move on to the next match. So, remember YS coming back now, 2-1. Potential game point here. If YS wins, he'll be fighting Coco Melon in the finals of this Magnificent 4 Cup Season 22, hosted by Comtours. First pick this time goes to Cold-Hearted. I think the pre-bans will be pretty similar towards the second match. Where we see things like maybe Ragdoll or something. Yeah, there we go. Ragdoll and Shizuka will be banned out. So no Ragdoll this time for Cold-Hearted. Is it a contest for Tianlang? Because we do see that YS, he don't really bother about the Oliver. Yeah, he just lets the Oliver through every single time. Oh, YS actually has Lucifer as well. Awesome. Yeah, Lucifer Leo. But he's not going for that. Yeah, we always see those kind of combinations with Illusion at the end as well, in terms of those kind of drafting. So Cold-Hearted going for the Miles and Lima this time. So YS, he knows what's up. He just wants to cleave. Going for the Chiwu Chongpong. And I'm pretty sure he's following up with another damage dealer. He has no choice. Yeah, control damage dealer-ish unit. Not too bad. I think the Sagar can be pretty annoying in this lineup because if he has his combination off, I think Molly is gonna be a threat for YS team. But yet again, there's a Lima, but Lima you can reset her. Molly you can't. The passive can be so annoying. So we'll see what YS actually does here. I still feel like the Molly is a very, very good pick for Cold-Hearted. Essentially a force span. Yeah, there we go. Kinda knew it because you don't really want to deal with the glancing. And whenever Molly moves, additional turn, that's almost like 50% health of somebody healed up. So you don't really want to take that chance. And Chiro going for the strip. This might be a fast one, but failing to land the strip onto the Oliver. And Masha getting stunned up as well. Yeah, got no choice but to go for the reset. Resistance from the Oliver as well, but thankfully he got the provoke off. So there's a chance to kill. Oliver goes down. Lima got resetted earlier. So the Chompong just holding on to the second skill in case. Getting the provoke again. So this Ming is gonna do a lot of work. Masha dismounted. Huge crit onto the Lima. Lima goes down. 2v4. Double glancings. Yeah, the glancing is gonna be so good here. I think there's no point using the second skill, but probably just trying to get the provoke off. Because both of them full attack bar, the armor break is only for one turn. And now he can start working onto the Ming. But this Ming is so tanky. Can this Chompong violent proc? Didn't get it, but there's another control coming out from Sagar. So getting the attack bar pushback, very important. And the Masha still alive to do all this damage. Getting the pushback as well, additional turn. Unfortunately, unable to land the armor break again. But everything is going down on the side of Cold-Hearted. To put salt on the wounds of Cold-Hearted side as well. The Ming got slapped. And it's gonna be a 3-1 coming out from YS. Very nice fight, that one. Wow. I didn't expect the combination from this kind of CC cleave to have that much amount of damage output. But yet again, of course, Masha is in play. So it took so long for Cold-Hearted to bring down that unit. Eventually, she couldn't even bring it down because once it was dismounted, YS got the control off. And after that, big damage done. Yeah, so yeah, pretty good stuff. And I am gonna release the first code for this stream, alright? Are you guys ready? Please make sure to type this into your game as soon as possible. Alright? So first code for today, it is good luck for S23. Once again, good luck for S23. You'll be getting 100,000 mana stones and 100 energies. Yeah, you never know. When you're farming here with the free energies, you get one mystical scroll. Bam! Nat 5. So yeah, pretty sure that happens to some people. So make sure to do so. Collect this code. And later on, we'll be releasing another code at the end of the finals. And it's gonna be 2 mystical scrolls. So I'm pretty sure you'll love that one. And we will be getting ready to see who will come out ahead in the finals, CoComelon or Remember YS. So we do know one side, CoComelon loves to play big amounts of LD Nat 5s. Things like Wedjat, Jackson, Gianna, Qitian Danqing. I think this is his 4 main units that he really runes up well. And on the side of YS, he has a lot of variety in terms of his draft. We haven't seen yet, but earlier he flashed things like the Eleanor. I think Eleanor earlier, probably in the last fight as well, could be a very good synergy between his team. Because with Sagar Chompong in play, you use the third skill from that Light Polar Queen. They have their skills again, so the controls just keeps on rolling. Including the resets, right? So I think that could be a pretty potential good combination coming out from him. Apart from that, he also kind of flashed the Lucifer Leo comp where it's actually really hard to deal with, where you have a fat Lucian as well. That combination is actually pretty strong. I always lose to it, I don't know why. So here will be the bracket once again. Cocomelon progressing forward, as well as Remember YS. Winner will be taking away the Magnificent 4 Cup Champion Trophy, a Laura figurine, and 500 crystals. For the second runner-up, for basically the runner-up, they will be getting 300 crystals. And for Jin Yao and Cold-Hearted, they'll be getting 200 crystals each. So they already locked in their rewards here. Man, can't wait to see this match getting started. So I think the pre-bans is gonna be very interesting. Likely, things like Tianlang will be banned off because, yet again, I think Cocomelon don't really want to deal with that unit because he runs very heavy Oracle lineup. So Oracles, you do know, normal attack, they get like attack bar boost, so Tianlang is gonna counter it really well. So one very interesting thing to note here. Yeah, there we go. It's gonna be the Gianna and the Tianlang ban. So Remember YS first picking this time. So far, we finally see him pick Oliver for the first time. Yeah, he just let Cold-Hearted taking the Oliver non-stop earlier. So now, Remember YS, not fooling around, taking the 33% speed leader with all this increased cooldown time unit, very strong. And Cocomelon got no choice but to go for the Masha because it's a direct counter. And do we see Oracles in play? Because Tianlang is banned out. So yep, there we go, it's gonna be the Praha this time. $20 seconds left for YS. A few good counters against Cocomelon's side is you try to outspeed. Yeah, I think outspeeding is probably the best outcome. Going for the double monkeys this time. So Song Zhang Lao. Ah, the Shiho is a troll. So Shiho removed for Cheongpong. Ah, so there's a Laura on the side of Cocomelon as well. So if he actually gets the Laura figurine, he'll be so happy because he'll have it in game and real life. Awesome. Okay, so Wedjut and Qitian Danxing. And Remember YS going a little bit passive at the end with the Nana and Abilio. So Abilio, okay, second thought. He's still sticking to his roots. With the Chiwu Poseidon, let's go. So, I think over here already know who's the ban. It's definitely the Wedjut. Because even if Jackson is in play, there's no speed lead. Chiwu gets the attack bar pushback. Combination comes. As long as the accuracy is in check. So 10 seconds left, changing it to Heigang. Yeah, like I said, I think Heigang also no issue because he's not gonna cut without speed lead. But yet again, just banning off the Qitian Danxing because don't really want to take any risk here. So both sides will have the speed lead. So Cocomelon's team, the damage output solely based on the Masha. Is it enough? Because Remember YS, however, he has 2 win units. So Masha is gonna be pretty decent here. But Masha actually moving first instead of the Praha, so that's a little bit unfortunate. It's not kind of speed tuned to his strippers. So he don't have the liberty to go for the strip into the armor break potential one shot. But Praha can go for the sleep this time. Cheongpong violent proccing. That is actually big, but then just opting for the strip. The glancing onto the Poseidon as well. And the Song Zhang Lao. So Masha, can he land the armor break? Boom, boom. Oliver almost dying. Should go down. Because the Heigang is gonna move. Oh, he got a little bit greedy here. He couldn't kill off the Oliver. But Masha moves, so it doesn't really matter. Now the Maelstrom comes, big damage done onto the Praha as well. So Song Zhang Lao, I think he has no choice but to go for this. Double stuns, actually getting it. Masha might be dismounted soon. Silence onto 2. How can the Masha kill off the Poseidon unless he crit here? Going for the Cheongpong, safe play. Additional turn. Getting rewarded. 2v3. So Masha this time will go down. And in a way, it's like double supports against one bruiser damage dealer lineup coming out from YS. I think YS might have the upper hand here, honestly. But if the Haegang keeps getting despair stuns, unlucky. Yeah, now the Maelstrom comes, it's gonna push back the Wedjut. And he's so low on health. It's not gonna heal up. Just making sure that unit is dead, and there is no way for Haegang to win from here on out. So YS taking it 1-0. Very good draft coming up from him. Yeah, I think sticking to his roots instead of the Nana Abilo works better, as we can see in that match. So second match of the best of 5 between CoComelon and Remember YS will be starting. First pick this time goes to CoComelon. And what will be the pre-bans? So now we do see Gianna and Tianlang in play. But do they actually pick that unit? That's another question. Because we do know YS, his Swift runes, and he loves to go for all these cleave units as well. He's not a he doesn't really run bruiser lineup so far that we are seeing. So it's probably gonna be speed against speed if CoComelon still wants to opt for a Gianna pick. So Masha and Chiten Dansheng will be banned out. Very good bans all around so far that we're seeing. Yep, I think it's gonna be a somewhat contest for first turn here. YS taking away one of the oracles that CoComelon loves to play, the Praha. And will he fall back to those kind of second turn pivot lineups? Yeah, Praha Tianlang, very good together. So you got heals, you got AoE strips, armor break as well. Into the additional damage done from Praha. Pretty decent. And CoComelon is sticking to his roots, going for the Gianna, which got him a lot of wins earlier. So YS this time going for more like a pivot lineup with the Dominic and Juno. So Dominic Juno, very interesting. Likely the ban onto... Oh, Beelzebub. Okay, very nice draft coming out for CoComelon. How many LD Net 5 does this guy have? And it's all pretty top tier, you know? Wow. The Dark Demon. Yeah, Sekhmet is a very big counter towards that unit, however. So one reset, then he's kind of like a sitting duck. He can't really do too much after that. So I think Sekhmet, yeah, Sekhmet has to be banned off here. And banning away the Gianna as well. So both sides finally locking in their leader skills. It's gonna be the HP leader for Dominic on the side of YS, and for CoComelon's side is obviously the speed leader coming up from Oliver. So Cheongpong actually moving first very fast, getting only one strip. So what will the Praha do? Yeah, there's no point going for the third skill yet. You kinda need to sustain your Dominic because there's no Nana in play. So Dominic, if it's getting hammered by the Cheongpong Beelzebub, like armor break into one shot, nothing's gonna save him. So over here, he needs to work on to the Chompong. Getting the pushback, very important. And Beelzebub likely just gonna hold on to the second skill. Yeah, just going for the normal attack. But that's not really enough. 8k damage only. So the Dominic very tanky. And next turn, the Praha has the heal up. Will he go for the sleep? Just normal attack will do. Finishing off the Chompong. So we're seeing the Praha actually getting good crits onto the wind units, eh? So he got double crits there, about 20% attack bar. So Juno just opting for the normal attack all the way. Can the Beelzebub kill off anything here? He's still opting for normal attack. So Praha likely getting focused on. There's no strips coming out from the Juno just yet. So got no choice but to normal attack here. Shizuka, one more turn for the soul protection. Didn't get it. And then the skill train of Oliver is coming. So he gets the pushback, but Tianlang is in play. Good counter. So Chompong revives. Strip stun. Getting the stun onto the Beelzebub. I think the game plan here for YS is to kill off everything, leaving the Beelzebub lost. But yet again, there's still the Madness Judgment. It's gonna be a very scary skill. So Armor Break landed. I think it's a one-shot. Oh, still alive this Shizuka by the skin of her teeth. And then Oliver is revived now. This is interesting. So Shizuka getting the all-important violent proc. But can this strip? Didn't get the strip off. Needs to continue working on to the Shizuka. All things in nature, possibly, but Juno will be able to heal up. Getting another violent proc. That is huge. So Tianlang might go down with this big damage because there's armor break. Look at that. And it's not gonna heal up as well. Tianlang goes down. So there goes the armor breaker on the side of YS. This Oliver actually controlling the Juno. Yeah, I think once the Shizuka brings back the Beelzebub again, yeah, Juno is deado. I don't see her surviving this because Madness Judgment is in play. Boom, 22,000. Goodbye, Juno. And Coco Melon taking it 1-1. Very nice draft coming out from him. So he kind of saved this unit. He never showed the Beelzebub at all. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Very nice draft with the Shizuka as well. So non-stop reviving the whole team. Oh, pretty toxic lineup. So YS, with that in mind, does he want to give the Beelzebub to Coco Melon again? I don't think so. I think it's gonna be a pre-ban here. But yet again, there's so many things that you need to ban on the side of Jeff. Yeah, Melon. So last round's pre-bans were the Chitian Danshing Masha. Now it's gonna be the Gianna and Tianlang. Who will come out ahead of this to bring themselves to 2 points? So YS taking the Oliver right off the bat. Coco Melon counters with this Chompong. Because we do know YS loves the Chompong unit. So taking away that unit can be pretty decent. If YS is opting for those kind of speedy cleave comms, he don't have the liberty to choose that unit already. So Praha and Song Zhang Lao this time. Of course, he has other options in his sleeve. So Melon, when you're seeing all this, what can be a good pick? If you're deciding to ban off Praha, then I think Juno is also pretty decent here. But yeah, we'll see. It's still too early on to pick that unit. 10 seconds left is gonna be the Chiten Dancing and the Wedget. So going for some kind of speed comp here. It's gonna be speed against speed, I believe. So it's gonna be Chiwu and possibly a Sagar, Segment. Okay, Segment instead. Yeah, anything that can reset the cooldown time of the opponent. So Cocomelon over here, I think he's likely just probably gonna choose things like counter, like Juno. I think Juno can be pretty decent. Shizuka as well. Yeah, getting immunity up for the team. Being annoying as usual, because 100% resistance is actually really annoying. Very hard to deal with. So the bans, what will it be this time? I think Segment is okay. Probably just let the unit through. You don't really want to deal with Oliver, right? I think Oliver is very annoying. Yeah, so it's just gonna be the 2 win units that will be banned off this match. Yeah, yet again, Chiwu, Segment. The damage output coming out from YS needs to be timed perfectly, because yet again, Segment don't really provide much damage output, just the reset at the start, but Masha don't really care about that. Just gonna reset the Chiten Dancing, gets it, and Wedget will go for the buff this time. Not opting for the buff, instead didn't get the armor break onto the Chiwu as well, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And Shizuka is in a pickle here. He can't really do anything because Chiwu has the strip later, so just gonna eat this sleep if the Praha opts for the Daydream. But I think just a normal attack would do, because Song Zhangla will be following up. Could potentially just go for strip here. Yep, gets it. Into the AoE Summon Clouds. Landing armor break and stuns all round. Whoa, we don't see that too often. The Song Zhanglao doing wonders for YS. And then Samek can follow up with all these debuffs. And the Praha likely just gonna try to continue killing off the Masha instead. But now, with all that said and done, Praha needs to go for the heal, because you don't want the Shizuka to wake up so fast. Yeah, you're just gonna work on everything else instead. So Wedget getting resetted. There's no second skill. Needs to kill. Gets it. Oh, the Dark Monkey prevailing against the light. Interesting. Shizuka getting controlled non-stop as well. So, another additional turn from the Praha. Additional damage done onto this unit. So much already. With the Beneficial Block into the reset. Didn't get the reset actually, but managed to kill. So, YS. His draft. Although it seems like it didn't really have enough damage, but then of course Praha additional damage when the units are armor broken. They deal pretty significant amount of damage there and able to take that win. So he's leading 2-1 this time. Match point for YS. Can Cocomelon come back? That is the question. I think he needs to go for another cheesy Beelzebub lineup. Try to catch YS off guard in terms of the bans and the picks. So Oliver and Masha this time ban out for both sides. Very interesting, because both of these players have so many LD Nat 5s, they're not banning it out. Just opting for the normal units. So Chompong taken this time. Ah, okay. The Chompong very versatile in this draft coming up from Cocomelon, because with Chompong, he can also opt for the pivot lineup with his Beelzebub, or he can go for more things like the Water Ryu more. and good follow-ups with the Gianna as well. So YS not gonna fool around. Segment a very decent counter against that unit. And taking the Praha this time. Because we do know that Cocomelon loves to play Oracles. Yeah, so there we go. It's gonna be one of them in the form of the Dark Oracle, which is Gianna. So Gianna and Chitian Danching this time. Double LD monkeys again into play. Yeah, YS just gonna lock it in. I think it's a very similar draft towards the previous one, so he's just gonna stick to it. And Laura finally making her debut, and he actually has a Cadiz as well. I lost track how many Nat 5s he has in terms of light dark. This point more than 10. So Cocomelon going for Abilio. He has only 2 seconds left. He needs to choose it wisely. Going for the Shizuka instead, together with Abilio. Sagar is gonna be so strong. So what will the bans be? I think it's gonna be either the Chitian Danching. Okay, Abilio ban off. So Speed Leader, YS got his combination, but if the Shizuka can resist, that is a big if. Because we do know that YS has very decent accuracy on his units. If Shizuka resists, this might go south for YS. So we'll see. I think over here, still no choice but to reset the monkey. Yeah, there we go. Into the strip. Gets everyone. So Praha can just normal attack here, actually. But playing it safe, going for the Daydream. And he's gonna fully focus onto the light monkey first. So later on, there's still a strip stun coming out from the Song Zhang Lao. But getting stunned. Glancing all around though. Can the monkey violent proc? Didn't get it. Reset needs to be onto the Shizuka. So Gianna can't really use critical error. Doesn't really matter because there's no buffs on the side of YS. So all he can do is place a bomb into some normal damage here. Chompong with the glancing as well. What? Glancing light monkey getting quad stun into an additional turn. Yo, the amount of the amount of luck there. Just saying. So Chitian Danching later on can control the team. He has the third skill up already. Oh, it was looking so good for YS, and then now he needs to eat this giant net. Slow debuff, sleeps all round. Praha is gonna die to the bomb. Yep, Cocomelon should have this one. I don't think he'll ever lose with this draft from here. So I think you just go for the second skill, yeah, all or nothing. Getting double stuns as well. Praha will drop to the bomb later. Chiwu already used all his skills, so doesn't really matter about that unit. Violent proc coming out from the Shizuka as well. Segmet likely gonna drop here. Song Zonglao will die to the dots as well. Looking really grim for YS. So it's definitely a 2-2. We are going all the way to round 5 for this Magnificent 4 Cup. At this point, I'm not sure who will win. It's anybody's game, really. So it'll be very fitting to see if Cocomelon goes for Laura. And if he wins this match, he'll be getting the Laura figurine. So yeah, pretty interesting to note. First pick goes to Remember YS. So once again, these were the last rounds pre-ban. This will be the final match for today, and make sure to stay tuned all the way to the end. We will be having another coupon code, and it's gonna be 2 mystical scrolls, alright? So make sure to stay tuned. Yeah, I think both sides here will be taking the time on the pre-bans already, because yet again, if you're YS, you kinda lose to Shizuka every single time. So Why not just ban off that unit? But yet again, if you can take Shizuka for yourself, then it's also pretty good. So we'll see. Running the timer all the way down to the last 10 seconds. 5. Okay, interesting. And the pre-bans are the Gianna and Chiwu, so they are not letting each other getting any like first turn combinations off very easily, because if YS here, if he picks Oliver, I think Cocomelon just goes for Masha and Praha. The usual standard stuff, right, that you are seeing every single time. So there's actually a pause here, but we are getting it underway. So I think the first phase here, we don't really see anything different. I think it's still gonna be things like Oliver, Shizuka, all this kind of usual stuff. But YS, is he here? 10 seconds left. Yeah, because there was a pause, so I'm not sure whether he's having any internet issues here. But I don't think so, because Masha will be picked up. He didn't use Masha earlier, so it's not the first pick. Cocomelon going for the Praha instead. So Praha, of course, very decent counter towards the unit. Also, another very underrated unit that so far we are not seeing is Bolvert. Yeah, Bolvert kind of counters Masha really well as well. But there's no place for Bolvert here in this kind of draft yet. Unless YS goes for things like Riley, all this kind of stuff. So YS going for the Sagar and Shizuka this time. What will Cocomelon do? Pretty much the same stuff coming out for Melon, right? So Chitian, Danshing, and Oliver. YS is leaving it down to like... He's not even clicking. Yeah, he only had 5 seconds left to think for his last phase. So it's gonna be the Dominic and Tessarion picked up. So very interesting to note. I guess he already kind of understood what he needs to go for. And a Poseidon coming out from Cocomelon's side. It's gonna be pretty good. And yeah, YS don't even have time here. So what is it gonna be? What are the bans? I am not sure whether he's having any technical issues in terms of his side. Because he only had 3 seconds to lock in his ban here. And I'm not sure whether it's actually a default Praha. We will see. Shizuka is banned out as well. Okay, if he doesn't pick any leader here, that means we do know that YS might have some internet difficulties. So hopefully everything is okay on his side, or he's just really comfortable with what he wants already. I am not sure. Okay, so it seems to me like YS might have some technical issues with his device. So I think he kind of DC'd. Because there's no way you actually leave it all the way down to like 5 seconds and stuff like that. Yeah, the timer just ran out for him. He couldn't choose his units properly as well. Once again, not really sure what happened, but they are sorting it out. So make sure to stay tuned. This will be the final match, all the way to best of 5 between Cocomelon and Remember YS. This is the final match itself. So all boils down to this draft, and of course the gameplay as well. But sometimes when you win the draft means you win the game. Most of the time, yeah, unless you get really unlucky with a Violent proxy in there. So really interesting to see what kind of combinations that YS will probably choose. I'm not sure whether he's allowed to change his draft here, but yet again we definitely saw him like having like issues connecting to the game itself, right? So everything were like auto-generated. Yeah, he didn't have time to choose anything. Just waiting for any confirmation from the technical side, and I'll definitely update you guys. So in the meantime, we will be having one coupon code after this final match, alright? So make sure to stay tuned. The winner of this Magnificent 4 Cup will be walking away with a Magnificent 4 Cup trophy champion. Basically a champion trophy. Really nice. Seen it before. A Laura figurine and 500 crystals. Apart from that, the runner-up will be getting 300 crystals, and of course, Jin Yao and Cold-Hearted, they already lost earlier in their matches, so they will be only getting 200 crystals each. Okay, so just gonna get some confirmation here first. Give me a brief moment, yeah? Okay. Likely it's gonna be starting soon, so sorry about that. Apologize for the inconvenience caused. But yet again, we want this to be smooth sailing and fair, because if let's say one side, yeah, having like internet issues, it's really hard to fault him because he can't really do anything about it. It's up to God, right? If let's say he suddenly can't connect, yeah. Yeah, YS. Okay, it is confirmed that YS has some issues. He lost connection, so we're just gonna wait for him to get back, and we should be ready to go. So, honestly, coming into the 5th match here, I am not sure who's gonna win because both sides has been playing so well. One thing, Cold-Hearted, Cocomelon, right? He has so many LDNet 5s and everything synergizes so well. And it's not like they're B tier, A tier kind of units. They are at least A+ to SSS. Things like Gianna. Jackson is very underrated, alright? So a lot of people don't really see that unit, but the passive, I think Jackson's passive is definitely one of a kind. It's something like when you reduce your attack. If your opponent reduces your attack bar, you get attack bar boost or something like that, right? In terms of the passive. So it's kind of like a different way for Haegang. Haegang is when people get the strip, he gets the attack push bar. This one, if they strip and push your attack bar back, then you gain attack bar. So yeah, it's like the opposite. And of course, there's a single target strip. Of course, Jackson, I think it would have been better if he had something like an AoE strip on his second skill instead of a single target, because yet again, it follows things like Miles, right, with a strip stun, single target strip. Although Jackson's damage output won't be the best because it doesn't have the Miles passive, so we are only seeing him always doing around like 2 to 3k damage here and there. So yeah, it's just basically there for the passive. That's about it. Some annoying stuns here and there every time he moves. Yeah, so would have been nice to see if, let's say, Jackson gets like a AoE strip, AoE stun maybe. Yeah, who knows? I think it's gonna be a lot more used by this players who have that unit. Of course, another thing, Wedjut, very underrated. So far, we are seeing him playing it every match. So Wedjut always moving first, going for the buff, the defense buff, and the anti-crit is actually very strong. Is there any speed buff coming up from him? I don't think so, right? So yeah, just the attack bar boost, and the passive now heals. So I think also another underrated units that people don't really use. Or maybe you don't even pull it yet. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, personally, obviously, I don't have all these units. And yeah, Cocomelon, pretty decent stuff coming out from him. Winning Jin Yao as well earlier very convincingly. And you do know Jin Yao is like the raid boss. He's like the boss in Magnificent 4 Cups. Every time he reached the finals and win it easily. So this time he lost to Cocomelon at the semi-finals. Pretty unfortunate, but yeah. There will be always another Mag 4 Cup for him to win. in the next 3 months. So yeah, pretty good stuff so far we're seeing. I think YS is still having a difficulty, so just sit back and relax and enjoy this one. We just want to make sure everything is smooth sailing for the final match. Alright? Because this match, it means that whoever wins this will be walking away with the Laura figurine, the Mag 4 Trophy Cup, and also 500 crystals. Okay, we got confirmation that we will be restarting the final match. I think both players are ready, and we will see what is the drafts this time. Because earlier, definitely, I think to be fair, YS, everything was auto-picked right from the start. Even including the drafting phase, the pre-bans phase, I think, because pre-bans went all the way to 60 seconds. I think he didn't even manage to pick his pre-ban. So yeah, pretty unfortunate stuff. But yet again, it happens, so we understand and we move on and rectify it. So, I think it should be starting soon. Once again, there will be a coupon code at the end of this live stream. 2 mystical scrolls. Alright, it's gonna be good. Any scrolls, we'll take it. Yeah, because the SP button will be gone pretty soon. Try to get as many summons in as we can. So I believe they are started already. Yep, let's go. This will be the last match for today. It all boils down to this. CoComelon up against YS. 2 points each. A best of 5. Bans are the Tianlang and Gianna this time. So YS getting first pick, taking the Chumpong right off the bat. What will CoComelon do? Because now he doesn't have things like Gianna to work with. So his first turn comp is kind of like non-existent already. But I guess he can still opt for this Praha Masha lineup that we are always seeing, but opting for Qitian Danxing instead. So YS, he's sticking to his roots. Yeah, bring out the big gun. Song Zhang Lao. The monkey actually doing really decent this time for him. And now CoComelon. Will he pivot? Okay, he's going for a Jackson and a Juno. So it's a somewhat pivot lineup coming out from him. Chiwu and Poseidon to finalize the draft on YS. Oh, it's a very, very scary draft coming out from him. But he's not opting for it yet. Actually changing it up to Praha and Nana as well. Okay, he's locking it in. So with that being said, I think Diana is a force ban. But you have to deal with Qitian Danxing though. I don't really see a way for Diana to get through. Yeah, Diana is just gonna be banned off. So YS needs to get the reset off onto the Qitian Danxing. Very important. I think he's just gonna go all in onto that unit. Because if Qitian Danxing is dead, Nana, Praha, Moore, they're very good against Masha, Juno. And like I said, Jackson is just there for the passive. So we'll see about this one. Moore going for the strip, getting it. But of course, all the attack bar is pushed up on the side of CoComelon. But is he speed tuned with his Juno? I am not sure. The Jackson moves. Can only strip one. Gets it onto the Chumpong. Ill important strip into the pushback. So essentially only the Chumpong got affected by that. But a very nice stun coming out from Juno. Now we see the sleep come as well. So the Nana's additional damage is actually pretty significant. There was a good amount of damage done onto the Masha already. But Juno getting another stun onto the Chumpong, and he's not really gonna be moving anytime soon because of the slow debuff. So this Juno doing quite a lot of work here. I think he should just go for the kill. Oh, but strip. Okay. Actually getting the kill as well. Not able to dismount the Masha just yet. And now Chumpong finally able to land the serious matter. Very important skill to use. Just trying to kill off the Masha. He needs one more stack. No despair stuns. So Chumpong goes down. Additional turn from this Masha. Okay, that's another stack on the side of YS already. So Chi-Tian Danshing, no skills. Has to go for the heal. Gotta save the more. Yeah, I think at this point you just work onto the Juno first. Although you got armor break on the Chi-Tian Danshing, but I guess it's fine, doesn't really matter. But Juno is gonna have a hard time dealing with this lineup. Praha getting stunned up as well. For some reason, this Moor is taking so much damage. Yeah, I would have preferred him to maybe just work onto the Chi-Tian Danshing earlier. So now, can he land some despair stuns? Armor break maybe. Getting it onto 2, but Juno will be able to heal up. Not enough to kill. Very unfortunate. So all or nothing comes. He does have this skill. Getting triple stuns into the giant net. So this is where the scary part comes when Chi-Tian Danshing is still in play. The turn cycling is gonna be so good for CoComelon. And although Juno can't really crit against water, but additional damage is always there to do some pretty decent amount of HP done on the side of YS. So we can see the Praha with all this slow debuff is not moving. They're so slow. So if Praha gets stunned up here, oh my god, it might be over. Violent proc, but there's no more heals. Juno's still alive. Thankfully, the Moor kills off something, so Praha can revive again. But yet again, there's no heals coming out from Praha yet. 2 more turns. The damage done onto the Chi-Tian Danshing is really good. I think he is able to kill. And now, there's no way for CoComelon to win. Remember YS taking this one. Wow, it was so close, all the way to the end. Wow, I think if, let's say, the Chi-Tian Danshing got one more skill off, like in terms of one more giant net, he wins, no doubt. But unfortunately, unable to get another Violent proc after the all or nothing, and then he couldn't turn cycle with the skills. Praha able to turn cycle really fast and get that win. So congratulations to YS. He is the champion for this season, World Arena Season 22 Magnificent 4 Cup, sponsored by Comtours. And he will be walking away with the Magnificent 4 Cup Champion Trophy, a Laura figurine, and 500 crystals. Valiant effort coming out from CoComelon. However, he will be only receiving 300 crystals, and last but not least, Jin Yao and Coarted will be getting 200 crystals each. Okay, now, the time has come for us to release the second code. I know you guys are waiting for this one, so please make sure to type in APAC is coming. Once again, APAC is coming. You'll be getting 2 mystical scrolls per code, alright? Obviously, 1 user, 1 code only. Once you collect it, then make sure to do as fast as possible as well, because there's only a limited amount up for redemption, and it's gonna last until like 11 PM or something like that. Yeah, so just make sure to type this in right now. Alright, APAC is coming. You'll be able to receive 2 mystical scrolls. And that's about it for today. Great pleasure to cast for you guys as usual, and this concludes the end of the Magnificent 4 Cup Season 22 hosted by Comtours. Once again, congratulations to YS. Yep, he played really well. And also a little bit unfortunate that he had some connection issues, but able to put his focus on his last fight. Although it went down to the wire, I think Nana was a very good pick right there. Basically, the Nana helped him win the match because he's able to revive again and again. So yeah, congratulations to YS, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in the next one. Thank you for watching, and stay safe. Have a pleasant weekend ahead. Take care.